no, they destroyed one. Bastards. Oh. Yeah. There. You can play all my games that I've done over the course of projects. Like Labyrinth was another good one. Untitled Ghost Game is always fun. So in this one, Lana was doing the super casual game jam too, and the idea was AI. And the idea was you were supposed to like make the game using AI, like IDEs and all that. But I decided to focus on actual AI, like character AI. So I created I really wanted to learn, like, you know, refine my ability to make state machines, or maybe even dabble into like behavior trees. I ended up sticking with a state machine for this. But the idea is you are stuck in a house with a ghost that is hunting you down. And if it catches you, you die. And you have to search the mansion for a key. If you find the key, you got to get to the door. And you escape. Oh, I need to rebuild the lighting in here. This is terrible. Hold on, let me make this big. So the ghost is somewhere spawned randomly in the house. And you have to... I put so many spawn points for this freaking key. And the ghost wanders around the house. And if it spots you, it will chase you. Ah. And my camera keeps switching around. Could be down here in the basement. I think that's a bug with WebGL. I put so many spawn points in the house, it could be literally anywhere. Although he doesn't sound too close, so... I'm telling you, that there could be freaking anywhere. Oh, why did it do that? Stop scaring me! Music is super creepy. I actually wanted to build in where, like, this stuff would make noise and the ghost would be attracted to the noise. I had that working afterwards. In this build, it does not do that. Man, the camera jerking around is really driving me crazy. I don't think there's any other things down here. Yeah, no, I didn't put any more furniture down here. God, it could be anywhere. There's an upstairs too. What I did was I put all these prefabs, and all the prefabs have spawn points. And when the level loads up, it got spun around again. It randomly picks. He must be upstairs, I think. It randomly picks a spawn point for both the ghost and the key based on what's around the map. And he wanders around room to room. God, the key's up. Oh, come on. Cameras, why are you doing this to me? Oh. Shit. And she can open doors. Oh shit! I got caught so you can see. But that was one of the games, and then it resets. Although I made a mistake, and I redo the key, but I don't close all the doors and stuff. I have to fix that. And this is where Fortress Flipper is supposed to be. And Labyrinth was fun. I liked Labyrinth. So it was 10 seconds, I think, was the jam theme for this one. And the way this works is you have to collect 5 items, which are randomly selected at the start. So you have to pick these 5 items. So we have the large amethyst, the large diamond, the lost scroll, the totem, and the ancient drum. But the labyrinth shifts every 10 seconds. So the labyrinth will zoom out, the labyrinth will shift. And then you now have to find, and the idea was to find them within a, well, you know. So you have to look, like large diamonds over here. Amethyst is shit. Damn it. So, did you actually play this one, Shippy Guy? I liked Labyrinth. Labyrinth was fun. And the first one I ever did was this Hack the Planet one. This one might be loud. Apologize if it is. You have to destroy the planets without hitting the suns. It's basically Fruit Ninja, but you're destroying planets. You can hold down the laser beam. Nope. Is that one. And then Chain Reaction was fun too. This was another one for Lana's jams. This had to be hooked up to, because this was Azure, this had to be hooked up to PlayFab. So I do have it working with PlayFab, but close this. All right, so the idea is you have to swing the mace around with physics. And then you can knock guys into each other to get a chain reaction, which gives you more points and potentially kills more things. and then there's those. You gotta be careful with the physics, but that's the whole thing. I was playing some old games that I had on itch. I was proud of these. I was proud of them. Except for this one, because it's not done. Oh shit, will it work? I figured this would fail. Start up. Does this actually still run? The funny story about this was that when I initially started to learn multiplayer code, I was like, I'm going to take this game, since I made it, like I know everything in it, and I'm going to make it multiplayer. But the problem with multiplayer frameworks, any of them, including netcode for game objects and everything, they're all opinionated. So they all do things for you in a certain way. So I was like, all the gameplay's done. I just have to convert it to multiplayer. Well, the challenge with this one is that the multiplayer, I built my own scene loading system. So basically, the startup scene is what gets loaded, and then I'm using addressables to load in the other scenes. And I have a persistent manager scene, which has all the things like the audio manager, the loading screen, the camera, that kind of stuff. Then I have the main menu scene, which then gets loaded in afterwards. Then when you go from the main menu screen to the actual gameplay, there's a gameplay scene which I never used, but there's the main scene that has the actual gameplay in it. And the idea is you bounce back between the main and the main menu screen, and then, but the persistent managers stay loaded. Well, the framework that I wanted to learn, Fishnet, does its own scene loading, and I'd have to gut all of this to make it work, and I didn't know how it I couldn't figure out how their stuff worked, so I just kind of had to abandon it. I know a little bit more about Fishnet now, so I might go back and try to do it, because I think this game would be fun multiplayer to defend the towers. But yeah, I already showed you guys this, so I'll just close this. You guys with the smiling. I'll be smiling when this is done. When this demo is on itch.io and I can start really working on the actual game. I don't even remember where I was. I went on a tangent. I don't even remember. Stripey Cat, where was I? If you're still here, help me. Oh, right. We were trying to figure out why I can't collide with this box. Do I still have my test scene? I do. Let's go to test. Does it still work? What on a tangent with you? I'd love to revisit those old games and do a pass on them. I really would. Like, obviously the lighting in that mansion is horrendous, and I know why now. And I can't wait to fix it. Please add an Fmod Studio. Oh. So now let's add a box. Oh, it just occurred to me why it's not working. I'm a dummy. It just hit me. Just hit me. In a way, I did. When I converted over from the kinematic character controller to the new character controller that I'm using, the Easy Move, you hear one of these scripts. You set the collision layers, and I have default and level and not player obstacle. You should have known that, Slow Dive. You saw me do this. You were on the stream when I converted it. It's your fault. I'm blaming you. You're under the bus. Honestly, chat, you guys should know better. No, I really didn't. I wish. Ooh, what's this? Okay. Never seen that warning before. And now I can't walk through the bench anymore. Yay! And now I can't walk through this anymore, too, either. Yay! Oh, that was so dumb. Okay, we figured it out. Check it off. Check it off the list. Now, we have to go back to... which actually reminds me, I don't think I need the rigid body on this. And I could probably put this back in here. Apply. Don't understand 80% of what you do. I'm lost. I'm just trying to pick up anything I can learn. Fair enough. Oh, I wanted to ask you guys something. For the folks that are still in chat. I was thinking about tomorrow, Fridays in general, doing like an office hours stream. So I was going to post in the community forums that if anyone has like game dev questions, Unity questions, we can like have a stream where like we could just talk about it. And like, oh, you want to know how to do something in Unity? We could like play around with it and just experiment and see how it worked. I don't know if not everyone uses Unity, so I don't know if it would be valuable, but I thought it would be cool than just sitting here watching me fail at game dev. Not really life questions, but sure, we could talk about stuff. I was going to try to limit it to game dev and Unity specific, but I was thinking about doing that tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. I'll probably post in Lana's forums about that. But if anyone was like, oh, I don't know how to do this in Unity, or like, and maybe stuff like Stripey Cat's doing stuff in Flax. So like maybe, you know, it might translate because it's C++, it's C#, right? So yeah, we could talk about design patterns. We can talk about coding. We can talk about refactoring, my favorite subject. Because I remember when we had a conversation with Stripey Cat about inheritance and interfaces, and I don't know if that ever actually did help and at all, but it was a good conversation, I thought, at least. So I was thinking about doing more stuff like that. I don't know. What do you guys think? All right. You approve? Well, if Slater approves of it, then you know we're gonna do it because he's the only one that's allowed to make calls like that. Actually, I wanted to. No, I cannot dress up like Indiana Jones for no reason. I used to have an Indiana Jones hat. I got it at Universal Studios. It was authentic, but I don't have it anymore. Besides, it was a kid's hat. I don't think it would fit my big head anymore. Sorry, I'm updating some commands. Sorry. All right. I want to get a whip. Yeah. I have nunchucks. Does that count? It's kind of like a whip. All right. Let's see if we can get this working. I'm kind of stuck, which is frustrating me, and it's midnight, and I have work tomorrow. So let's talk through the mess, and then maybe we can Scala draw, and then maybe we can. Sorry for the flashbang. Let me put on dark mode, and then we can talk through what the problem is. Yes. Hi, Dad. So we have our construction kit. construction kit. That's what I'm calling it. But this is really the small treasure chest. Okay. Which is an eye holdable and an eye placeable. Okay. This is the object. Then this also has the reference to a blueprint, which is the thing that's the like hologram placeholder. Okay. Then we have our systems in place, which are the placeable system. We have our player over here, which has a object manipulator. And we also have a I'm learning nunchucks. I'm actually learning the bow right now. And I started learning nunchucks. But technically I'm not supposed to get nunchucks until next belt. You do bow first, but she did it, my sensei did it as like a treat for everybody. Even my 5-year-old daughter, who's a white belt, was doing nunchucks, which was hilarious. Karate. Shorin-ryu karate, yeah. Objects. Yeah, in fact, I even got a little Dayanara karate emote. Oh, we're in ads. Ads in 1 minute. Brace yourselves. I'll let this ads play and then we'll wrap up this and we'll probably call it for the night. But yeah, brace for ads. 30 seconds. Object manipulator. And then we have the placement handler. Or I think it's placeable handler. Placeable handler. Check. Placement controller. Placement controller. This is also an interactable. Okay. Put that up here. We have the equipment system in place too. Oh, it's service actually. Service. Okay. Object interaction handler. Okay. This gets complicated. So the player picks up the construction kit. or interacts with it, I should say. And then what that happens is that triggers the interactable. And so this is interacts with. Player interacts with the construction kit, triggers the interactable. The interaction handler basically says, okay, object manipulator, pick up object, which then says, okay, this is where it starts to get crazy. Is that the object manipulator triggers the on hold method, which does some stuff. So now the player is holding the object. Now, because of that, this on hold triggers placement. Start placement. Which then says, okay, I think it calls this, yeah. I think. Start placement or enter placeable mode is actually what I call. Right. So it calls enter placeable mode, passing the I placeable version for this interface to here. And then it says, this is by event. So this is an event that says the on placeable mode changed. So it's calling that, and it's triggering this. Which then if we go to here, what happens here? We spawn the placeholder object. So when the mode changes, we spawn the placeholder. We spawn this guy. Spawn. And then this guy continues to update this position. It's not really a function, but it updates a position. So this is what happens in my code right now. Then, when the player we have an input handler here. This is the looks pretty much like garbage is what it looks like. We have the player building input handler, which I guess I should rename it to placeable input handler. When this interacts with this and says place object. So already I can see a mess. But this is kind of like existing right now. It's not on an object. It's just, this is just capturing events for the building. So when the building gets exited and all that kind of stuff. So this is calling place object, which in turn is calling this object. And that's the problem. Place object, or place, it just calls place. So this calls place object, and this thing needs to try to place itself, and it can't because it needs data from over here. So what I'm thinking is, instead of storing, so hold on a second, placeable service. We have the current placeable here. We're storing this so that when we call place object, we can call it here. Where else are we doing this? Do we need this for anything else? Current document. Next. Current placeable. Is valid placement. Okay. Okay. So actually, what I want to do is I'm going to make it part of this event and say I placeable. And then this will place the placeable. And we're not going to store it anymore. Get rid of this. And here, because this is being cleared, we'll say null. I'm going to pass these values raw, because I'm actually wondering if I even need this variable. Okay. So we're going to have to fix this here, false. Find out where that's being called from. And place object, we don't know what to do with yet. Okay. Okay. Actually, I think what I want to do is similar to what I did with the equipment service, or inventory service. I registered the player inventory with this. So what I'm going to do is we're going to say set public static void set player, what is this called? Placement controller. Placement controller. Controller equals controller. What is going on? And then we need a private static placement controller. And then in the placement controller in awake, actually we'll do it in start. We'll say placement placeable service dot set placement controller to this. Okay. So we're registering that this controller is what the service is wired to. So now we can say if controller equals null, we're going to return. Otherwise, we'll call the controller to place object, and then we will say yeah, that works. No placement controller set. We're going to create this method. And then is valid placement, I think we're actually calling inside here, which is the placeable controller. So we don't need to actually do that. Because, and actually because we got an idea. Set public void set current placeable. And we'll say current placeable equals placeable. Private I placeable, current placeable. Okay. And then we actually don't need these events. Yeah, let's do it that way. Set current placeable. Okay. Which actually we don't. We'll just do it here. Okay. I was gonna do it. I forgot I was doing it through the event. Okay, so now we have element public. Okay, we have to figure this out. We can say current placeable dot place. Okay. We go back to placeable service. Yeah, we don't need this. So let's get rid of this. That's what I thought. Okay. Okay, so we are now here. And what that means is we can pass to this the adjusted position oh, we need the placement data. So actually let's go back here and say data. We can pass that data. Placement data, data. Okay, and then we go to here. We get the placement data. And we can say can, first of all, if I can't place, return, otherwise instantiate the preview object there. Let's see if all that worked. Oh. There's some, okay. I think that's fine. Because we're not going to check. And this is just doing current placeable dot can place. I was just calling that, so that gets replaced. Okay. Let's see what else is broken. So spawn. So actually we can say if current placeable is null, current placeable. Okay. Okay, so we did a little refactoring here. Little refactoring. Yes. And then if it's red, I can't put it down. We did a chat. We did it. All thanks to you. All right, so we got that working. And it's 12:30 and I got to get up early for work tomorrow. So, I think we made some good progress today. It was a little stressful. I almost didn't think I was going to make it, but we made some progress. We're now placing those blueprints down. So the next step we have to do is remove it from our hands and reset our hands and everything. So we're going to be putting that down. We want to be able to pick that back up, and then we're going to want to hit it with the hammer and actually build the chest. Yeah. So, and then after that, it's just a matter of finishing the game. So doing all the screens that we haven't done. Doing all the screens and doing the win condition. And then we can build this damn thing in WebGL and upload it and do some screenshots. In fact, before I forget, let me take some screenshots. So, screen. Screen. And then just throw that over there. Put out the hammer. And then let's hit the screen. And maybe I will upload those tomorrow to Blue Sky. And and actually post some things. But all right, everybody. Thanks so much for hanging out, keeping me going, silly conversations and everything. Have a wonderful night. See you guys tomorrow. Probably will do office hours tomorrow. I might tinker with the game if no one has questions. But other than that, if you are working in Unity and you have questions about game dev, bring them tomorrow and we'll talk about it. All right. Have a good night. Yeah, tomorrow, nunchucks. Nunchucks. All right. All right. Have a good night.